I did everything for him, you know. Mind you, he seems to be faring up quite well. I wonder if he had a tear at the crematorium. I didn't go. Well, I thought it was odd, you know, haunting your own funeral. Yeah, I hadn't thought about that. I'm a ghost, aren't I? Ooh, I'm haunting this room right now. I don't feel a bit spooky.
It's all right, Will. I'll put them in here with the others and then I'll come and give you a hand.
Thanks, Betty. You're managing really well, Betty. Keep it up.
It's not easy, you know.
Oh, I know, but if you just hold out for another hour or so, it'll all be over.
I'll go. You go back in there with the others.
Right.
That's my best friend, Bet. She lives next door. Her husband left her a year ago. Went off with a lady dentist. Funny that, isn't it? Mind you, he was an odd cove. I'd have needed gas to let him shag me. Sorry. That was a bit rude, wasn't it? I'm not normally like that. You see, the trouble is, you're listening to my thoughts. I mean, normally, I would have thought what I just said, but my mouth would have edited it to something like, well, I really don't fancy him. Still, I'm getting better at it all the time. I don't know how it happened, you see, the end. According to that newspaper, it's dated 10 days ago. That's the coroner's report. But the bloody cup, that cup is covering up the cause of death. I suppose it must have been a heart attack. I can't move anything, you see, or be seen or heard by anybody in the real world. It's very frustrating. Oh, that's my baby sister. Oh, don't cry, Taddy. I'm all right. I'm quite happy. Oh, she's trying to be so brave. I feel like I'm a good bore myself. You find out who loves you on a day like today, don't you? Me and Taddy have always got on well. We call her Taddy because years ago when we were little we entered a fancy dress competition and I was a frog and she was a Taddy, you know, tadpole, and it just sort of stuck. That's my mum's coat. I bought it for her at Christmas. She must be here somewhere with my dad. You know, being dead makes you selfish. I'd no idea the effect that my dying would have on Taddy and Mum and Dad.
We're grateful you could come, Vicar.
Vicar? What bloody vicar? I had no time for that silly bug person when I was alive. I could certainly put him right about the afterlife now, couldn't I? Nothing like he said. I expect you'd like to know what it's like. Well, it's quite interesting, really. You know, the you behind your eyes looking out on the world. Well, a couple of days ago, that's all I was. No body, no nothing. Felt odd, really. I was just sort of floating. I was outside the funeral home, and I knew straight away that I was inside, you know, gone. I didn't go and look at myself. Not that it would have bothered me, but I just wasn't interested, really. I thought there might have been some angels or some Peter and the pearly gates, but nothing happened. Not that I ever believed in it when I was alive. So I thought, right, Viv, if you want something to happen, you've got to do it yourself. So I concentrated on having a body, and there it was. Now, I must admit, I did experiment with a few different shapes and sizes. I tried tall and willowy with long blonde hair, but I didn't feel very comfortable, so I just made do with my old bod. I took off a few pounds and I didn't bother with the varicose veins and the stretch marks. Well, there's only me to see. I soon found out that I couldn't affect anything or be seen or heard in the real world. So I thought, I'll come here. And there I was. It's the only way to travel. It's a bit like Beam Me Up Scotty, only quicker. Now, you would think that I'd be a bit fed up at being plucked off in the prime of life. Well, perhaps not the prime, but not a bit of it. I have never felt so calm and contented in all my life. Or death, if you see what I mean. I wore this white cosy because it seemed right somehow, but I can have anything I want. I'm just so curious about what happened to me, and I feel it's important somehow that I find out. This paper could tell me if somebody would move this cup.
Oh, come on, love, pull yourself together.
Oh, stop saying that. I don't want to pull myself together. I just want to go home.
We can't go yet. I mean, what would people say?
I don't care what people say. I don't believe it. So there. There's something wrong. I know there's something wrong.
Oh, don't start that again. You just upset yourself.
What do you believe she'd do it?
The coroner did.
Yes, but do you?
No, not really. I mean, she wasn't the type, was she? Like, so full of life. Too full of life, some might say. But you never know what people might do when they get depressed, love.
Oh, she wasn't depressed. She just had her hair done. Who doesn't have her hair done and then goes and commits suicide? That's just him saying that. She wouldn't do it, I tell you. This is lies. It's all lies.
What is, Mum? What's all lies?
Here's the coroner's report in the paper. Now, just you read what he
Oh,
says.
no, I shan't. I'm not interested. He's wrong. They're all wrong.
Oh, please read the report, Mum. Read the report.
Well, go on,
Now,
Dad.
now,
you
now,
read
sit
it.
down, Mum, and listen to this calmly. And then perhaps it'll put your mind at rest. Let Viv rest in peace as well. It's not healthy to go on like this at your daughter's funeral. It's morbid.
Oh, Dad, get on with it. Just read the report.
Yeah, read the report, Dad. Get on with it. Do you think I got through then?
I don't know. Are you sure you want me to read it again? It'll only upset you.
Oh, read the report, Dad. At least I shall know how I snuffed it then.
Vivian Tammy Goodman,
Tammy. Now, you
wife
see,
of
I
William
kept that
Terence
second name a
Goodman,
secret
living
while I
at
was alive,
27
and he's
Lilac
bandying
Walk.
it about.
His
Now I'm
mother,
dead.
father,
Oh, get
and
on with it,
sister.
Dad. We know all
Get
that.
on with it, Dad. I know all that.
Yeah,
Get
I'm
to
sure
the
she
coroner's
can.
report.
After listening to the evidence from Mrs. Goodman's husband and Mrs. Cole, the next-door neighbour, on the depressed state of the deceased, her excessive drinking and dependence on sleeping pills, the coroner said that he considered that Mrs. Goodman drove to Herald's Wood, put a hose pipe into the exhaust, and died of carbon monoxide poisoning while the state of her mind was unbalanced. The autopsy confirmed that she had the equivalent of 2 bottles of red wine and 10 sleeping pills in her stomach. A note had been left by the deceased.
Oh, I don't want to hear any more. I don't believe it. She wasn't the sort of person to take her own life.
But you can't argue with the note.
Note? Note? What bloody note? I'm sorry, but you must see this and make an angel swear.
I'd like to see that note.
Yeah, me too.
No, Mum, we don't start that again. We've just got to accept the awful fact. Viv is dead.
She was my girl and I want to see everything. I want to see that note.
Quite right, Mum. I want to see it too.
There you are. What are you doing in here? You're not reading that report in the paper again, are you? You'll just upset yourself, Mum.
I'm not sure, Mum. I've told you that before, so don't keep calling me it.
No, Mum, there's no need for all that. Not today of all days. The family should stick together, and it's times like this, it's the strength of the family that helps you get through it.
Quite right, Dad. This should be a day of forgiveness and friendship. We should try to remember Viv as she used to be, not how she became a manic depressive.
What are you on about?
You didn't know her like I did. You have to live with someone to know their strengths and their weaknesses.
Well, I suppose that must be true. But I still don't believe she'd take her own life. I never knew anybody with more life than our Viv.
Well, we've got to accept it, Mum. You can't argue with the note. It's the proof.
Well, I want to see the note.
But you can't see it. The police have got all the evidence, love.
Oh, no, they haven't actually. Police returned all of Viv's effects this morning.
Here's the note. Now we'll see, won't we?
Now, don't go upsetting yourself, forgive me. We can't bring Viv back, you know.
Will, I've decided I cannot continue in this way. It is too painful. So I think it would be better for all concerned if I took the decision to end it. I know it's going to be difficult for the family, but they will get over it in time. So sorry, Viv.
So you see, Mum, it's like Will says. Oh, she must have been so unhappy.
She wasn't! I tell you she wasn't. I'll never believe it. And if you had 100 letters, I'd still never believe it. I know my own daughter and she'd never take her own life.
Why are you torturing yourself? Why don't you believe the evidence of your own eyes?
Because it's not true, that's why.
That's right, it's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
Jill, I'm sure she can hear.
What are you doing here?
We're looking at Viv's things. The police brought them back this morning.
Is this what she was wearing?
Yes, the police have carried out all the forensic checks and all ended up to suicide.
Viv would never have worn this. This. And trainers? It's just not her, is it, Mum?
No, of course not. She wouldn't have been seen dead in those.
Oh dear, Mum, not a good choice of phrase.
Well, I'm sorry, but you know what I mean.
I can assure you that the depressed state that she was in, she wouldn't have been worried about colour coordination.
Well, perhaps not, but I can't believe she spent the whole day dressed like a clown.
No, me neither. She may have been upset, but she hadn't lost all sense of taste. She was always very particular about the way she looked.
Is this everything?
Yes,
You haven't
they-
kept anything back?
They returned everything she was wearing.
But there's no bra.
What?
You heard what she said. There's no bra.
Well, perhaps she didn't wear one that day.
Oh, don't be so stupid. Of course she did. It'd be the first thing she'd put on in the morning. If you can't say anything sensible, keep quiet.
Sorry, I spoke.
That's right. I've never known her not wear one, ever.
No, me neither. Never, ever, and that's definite.
All right, I'm sorry, but I still can't see what you're getting at.
No, you wouldn't, would you? There's something wrong. That's what we're getting at.
Come on, let's go back and join the others. We're getting nowhere here going over and over the same ground. Come on, let's go into the other room.
Yes, come on, people will think we're being funny.
Come on, ladies.
Never.
You tell the sanctimonious git. I've never heard such a lying load of old claptrap in all my life.
No, you're just getting yourself all worked up, Mum. Look, I'm surprised at you, Taddy, getting your mother all excited. I mean, just no point to it. I think we should go back now and join the rest of the mourners. They're thinking a bit of the whole family missing.
That's right.
Come on, come on.
Look, she was my sister and this is all wrong. I agree with Mum. Something's just not right. I don't know what it is, but something just doesn't add up.
Come on, Dad's right. Let's go into the other room. Come on.
Now, come on, people will think we're being funny.
Oh, all right. But I'm never going to give up.
Now, just calm down, calm down. You'll make yourself ill.
We'll all go and have a drink or two. Calm ourselves down a bit.
I just can't work it all out. I'd never wear those. And as for that so-called suicide note, well, I know where that came from. Now, let's see if we can work it out in a calm and logical manner. Now, according to that coroner's report, I died a week ago last Saturday. Now, Saturday, what was I doing? Oh, yes, I remember. The red wine. Now, I have a drinking problem. I suppose you'd call me an occasional drunk. In that once or twice a month I drink too much, and last Saturday was such an occasion. Will was going to a dance match or something with some of his mates, so I had a nice hot bath, put on a big toweling robe, and came downstairs to settle in front of the fire on the sofa with a bottle. Well, two, actually. I was going to watch a movie on TV. And that's the last I remember. Now, that's not unusual. I mean, normally I would have just woken up the next day with a bit of a headache, and that would be that. Now, I must admit I've not been feeling at my happiest of late. Will's been a bit distant, you know, and I've been feeling a bit spare. But the thought of topping myself never entered my head.
What did the old cat say? Has she been making trouble? I never did like her, you know.
She said she isn't satisfied if she's going to the police.
Well, they won't take any notice of her, will they?
Shouldn't think so. What's to know? No, we're fireproof, I've told you. Life from now on will be plain sailing. It was difficult, but I think we can congratulate ourselves on the perfect crime. And there's no Sherlock Holmes about to find any clues because there aren't any.
Well, let's hope you're right. I thought it was all over when the autopsy and the coroner's report said suicide.
It is. We've just got to ride it all out for a few months till it all calms down. We can start having some fun. We deserve it.
She'll never calm down, nor will that sister of hers. I'm frightened, Will. I thought it was all over.
It is. I've told you. It's all just talk. Don't worry. It'll all blow over. We better get back. Come on. I've got to act the poor grieving husband, and you've got to put your best miserable face on. Well, that looks pretty good.
Well, now that explains a lot, doesn't it? I feel such a prat. It's terrible that you've got to die to find out that your best friend hates you, your husband's been having it off with her, and what's more, that bugger murdered me. Oh, but I'll get them for it. It's the last thing I do. But how? Let's try and work out how they did it. Will opened that first bottle of wine, I remember. He must have put the sleeping pills in it. Can you believe it? You think you know people, don't you? Oh, when I think of how I have fussed over that man, I could... No, calm down. Let us continue. I drank the first bottle pretty quickly, I remember, and started on the second. I felt very sleepy, but then the telly normally has that effect on me. I fell fast asleep. Well, unconscious, I suppose. And then that evil git must have come in and dressed me. I mean, no woman would put that odd assortment of clothes on me. Then they both drove me to Heraldswood, fixed the hose pipe in the car, left the note and waited for somebody to find it. Now that note, I did write it, but, oh, look at her. It's tearing her up inside and she doesn't know why. Oh, yes, that note that my stupid dad thought was concrete proof. I wrote that, 6 or 7 years ago. Will was having a bit of a fling with a girl at the office and he wouldn't stop it. Well, our marriage was far from perfect, but I wasn't having that. I decided to go and spend a couple of days with my friend Gill. I didn't want to worry my sister or my mum. Anyway, I decided to end the marriage, not my life. I sent the note to that swine. Oh, and he came round, creeping and wheedling, and I was the best wife a man could have, and he would never do it again. Oh, you know the drill. And silly me, I forgave him. As far as I was concerned, he was on the level until recently, when I did suspect something might be wrong, but I'd no idea it was that bitch next door.
I have to admit it is her writing, I'm afraid.
I know it is, Mum, but it's years old. Me and Gill wrote it.
If she was so sad, why didn't she talk to me? We always told each other everything went right from when she was a little girl. Why did she do it?
I didn't, Mum. That rotten bastard. Don't believe him.
I suppose it must be true. There's no other explanation. What else could it be?
No, Mum, listen, I didn't do it. That bastard murdered me.
I can't bear to think of her so sad and alone in the woods, in such despair to do that to herself.
It was that rotten bastard. He killed me.
But I can't understand why I wouldn't know if she was so unhappy. I'm her mother. Mothers know these things.
It was that bastard Will.
It's a lie. I don't believe that bastard Will.
I got her to an I know I did. She's never said bastard before in her life. Wait. I need you. I want you to... I'll try her again later. Now, what mistakes have they made? Non-matching clothes and no bra. Hardly conclusive, is it? Now the note. Only me and Will ever saw it. He must have kept it. What for? Oh, not for this, surely. Oh, no, I can't think about that. He must have showed it to her next door. But how can I prove it's years old? Gill, my friend Gill, she helped me write it. Knickers, she moved to Bristol. She probably doesn't even know I'm dead. If she knew, she'd be here today. I'll beam off to Bristol. Oh no, I don't know where she lives. She's in this address book. I can't look it up, and even if I could, she wouldn't hear me. My mum and my sister, they're my only hope. Somehow I've got to get them to contact Gill.
Look, Jim, I've been thinking. You know what, with Viv's insurance and the mortgage being paid off, I'm very comfortable now. Mum's overwrought, and quite right too. She and Viv were very close, and this has all come as a terrible shock. So what I thought was, why don't you let me pay for you and Mum to go to Miami for a month? It's what Viv would have wanted.
Oh, I'm not sure. Well, you know what she's like. I mean, it's difficult enough to get her to go away under normal circumstances.
Well, I think it's a wonderful idea, Mr. Baker. She looks like she could be heading for a nervous breakdown. And we don't want that, do we? No. I think a holiday might be just what she needs to settle her mind.
Do you think so?
I most certainly do. In my type of job, I've been trained to recognise the symptoms.
I mean, would you say her behaviour this morning was rational? Be honest, Jim, can you say that what she was saying has any truth in it at all?
Well, she is entitled to her opinion.
Is she? Is she, Jim? With all the police force and the coroner staff having thoroughly investigated Viv's death with forensics and DNA, and with all the science of criminology these days, they don't leave any stone unturned. And after all that, they could only come up with one possible verdict. Suicide.
Yes, I suppose so, but you must admit there are some very odd things, you know, which are difficult to explain.
What, she wasn't wearing a bra and her clothes didn't match?
Well, Mum thinks it's a bit odd. And when she's made up her mind that things are odd, then they're odd.
Well, it is, of course it is. She wasn't acting rationally. Look, I loved Viv. But during these last few months, she's been almost impossible to live with. She's gone now, poor tortured soul. No, we've got to look after the living. And I'm worried about Mum, and I'm sure you are too, aren't you?
Well, since Viv's accident, she has been acting most strangely.
Well, there you are. Isn't that what I said? I think you ought to take up Will's offer of a holiday.
Do you know what she told me just now? It's stupid, really, but she said that she could feel Viv's presence in this very room.
Well, what did I say? That proves my point. Is that rational?
Good old Mum, I knew I was getting through.
Well, I think I'll try and persuade her to go on the holiday for her own good.
Oh, that's right. I'm glad you're thinking like that. I would have felt so guilty if I didn't do something to help you.
You ought to feel guilty, you toe rag, but I'll get you for it. It's the last thing I do.
Well, I'll have a word with her. It's not going to be easy, the mood she's in, but I'm sure I can persuade her. It's very good of you, Will. I do appreciate it.
Least I can do. The sooner the better, I think. She's becoming obsessed. She should get right away from it for a few weeks.
Did you say Mrs. Baker could feel Viv in this room?
Oh, she's overwrought, Betty. Overwrought. The sooner away she gets away on holiday, the better. Don't you think so, Dad?
Well, we all loved Viv, and, well, we miss her so much. It's so difficult to accept that she's gone now when it all happened so suddenly.
Oh, I can't listen to this. You two-faced creep, but you'll get your comeuppance.
Come on, I think we'd better be going back. They wonder where we are.
Did you see that? She knows. I can get her too. Mind you, I've got to move fast. He's a sly one. If he gets my mum to Miami, I've had it. Mind you, I could go with her. I've never been to Miami. No, it's in this room where it's all got to happen. Somehow, we have got to get in touch with Gill before that pig destroys the note. My mum. I need my mum and my sister. Come in here. I said, come in here. That was a failure, wasn't it? It's no good going next door. It's too crowded. Mum! Taddy! Mum! Taddy! Yes, work. Now, what am I going to say? What am I going to say?
You shouldn't get so cross with Dad, Mum. He's only thinking of you. He's only trying to do what he thinks is best.
Silly old fool. What do I want to go to America for? And with Viv's money, it doesn't seem right.
I'm only thinking of you.
Thinking of me? Will just wants me out of the way, you know, because I'm asking awkward questions. Oh, he makes my flesh creep. He always has. And he's got your father in his pocket now.
Oh, Dad's only thinking of you then.
Him? He's going senile. He sees nothing. You know there's something wrong, don't you, Taddy?
I don't know.
Yes, you do. The bra, the clothes. And there's something very fishy about that note. Oh, and look. There's all the pictures. He's taken them down already. That's not natural. Oh, look. Here's the wedding fruit.
Oh, yes, with me as bridesmaid. Viv did look lovely. We were all so happy that day, weren't we?
I wasn't. I told her she didn't have to go through with it when I was doing her hair.
Oh, Mum, you didn't.
Oh,
Not
I
the
did.
morning of her wedding.
I did. I've never liked him. I knew it would all end in tears. Oh, but she did look lovely, didn't she?
Oh, don't upset yourself again, Mum. Here, let's look at these. Oh, look at it there. She was so happy that day, wasn't she?
Oh, yeah. That was when they went to, oh, you both went to London, didn't you? And you saw John Lennon and Claridge's.
Oh,
yes.
yes, I remember. He was sat in reception. She walked straight past the doorman and asked him for his autograph. Just like that. Oh, I was scared stiff. I thought we were going to get thrown out. Mind you, I was only 13 at the time. Viv didn't care. He was her idol. Nothing ever bothered Viv. She was so forward and frightened of nothing.
I remember that day. He wasn't a bit like I'd imagined. We all knew the quick-witted, sarcastic John Lennon we'd seen on TV, but he wasn't like that. He was quiet and gentle and soft-spoken, and he asked me where I came from and what my job was and what I was doing in London. I didn't have my autograph book with me, but I'd bought a beautiful little lace handkerchief from Harrods, little present for me mum, and I gave him that and he signed it. And then this waiter rolled up with tea and cakes, and he asked him to bring more cups, and I had tea with John Lennon. And then this big car rolled up with some even bigger men, and he was gone. We finished our tea. We ate all the cakes. There must have been a dozen of them. Dad took that photograph, and then we just sat in a daze. Sometimes, you know, I think I imagined that, but then I'd take out that little lace hanky and I'd know it was true.
Yeah, I wonder what happened to that hanky that he signed. That was mine. I bet he's got it. I'm going to ask for it back. Oh, Taddy, there's something terrible going on here. I know there is.
I know what you mean, Mum, but it's all over. There's nothing more we can do.
Yes, there is. We're Gill in Bristol.
Well, I know that, but, you know, I want to find out the truth. There must be some way of finding out the
That's
truth.
right, Mum. Ring Gill. Gill, remember Gill?
Just gonna have to accept it, Mum. There's nothing we can do to bring Ruth back.
I know that, but I just want justice for her.
Quite right, Mum. Ring Gill in Bristol.
Surely you don't think that Will had anything to do with Viv's suicide? I know you didn't like him, but you don't think he's a murderer?
I've told you before it wasn't suicide. And if it wasn't suicide, what else could it be?
That's right, it wasn't suicide.
He knows more than he's saying, a lot more.
But you can't make him say anything he doesn't want to say. And what can he say anyway? There's no proof of anything.
Yes, the bastard could say that he killed me.
You wouldn't accuse Will of...
Well,
You
I
know.
would. The sod killed
I
me.
accuse him of anything I want to accuse him of.
Mum, even I can't believe that Will would harm Viv.
Well, I can. I think the bastard killed her. Mum, what did you say? Well, I do. So there.
So do I then.
Oh, Taddy, do you? I thought I was going mad.
Oh, stop congratulating yourselves, you two, and listen to me.
But there's not one bit of evidence against him.
Yes, there is. Ring Gill in Bristol. Look in the phone book.
You know she always wore a bra.
Oh, Mother, forget about the bloody bra. Ring Gill in Bristol.
And I tell you this much, she'd never worn that top with that skirt, not in a million years.
Oh, sis, don't start going on about that now. Ring Gill. Look in the phone book.
You know, I can't help thinking there's somebody out there who knows something, but I don't know who.
That's right. It's Gill. Gill, look in the phone book.
Yeah, I think I better get back to your dad before he has too much to drink. You know what he's like when he's had a few. I don't want him letting me down today of all days.
No, ring Gill, please, ring. Oh, isn't this frustrating?
You know, there weren't many of Viv's friends here today. Suppose it because it happened so quickly. Just family and his friends.
Yeah. Christine, that she was friends with at school, she wasn't there, was she? Mind you, I think she went to live in Halifax, or was it Hartlepool?
Wasn't it Hemel Hempstead? Viv used to stay in touch with her most weeks.
That's it, Taddy, you're on the right track. Look her
Her
up.
other friends didn't come.
Oh, look, I better get back to Daddy's already started on the sherry. You know what he's like.
Mum, let poor old Dad have a few drinks, please. Ring Gill.
Come on, Taddy, we better go.
No.
You know,
No,
he's
Mum.
supposed to be driving
Please.
home.
No, please,
And I'm
Gill.
not calling
Gill,
a taxi
Gill,
now.
Bristol, please don't go. I need your help. Mum, Taddy, please. Oh, bugger. Oh, I thought I was getting through then. I was getting through. It's open at Jill's number. Mum, Taddy, come back. Boom. Oh, I feel exhausted. I didn't know spooks could get tired. I used to have a drink when I felt like this. You know, nice cup of tea and a biscuit. I don't know what the spiritual equivalent is. I don't even know if I've got any senses left. I mean, I can see and hear, but I can't touch or taste or smell anything. Not in the real world, anyway. I don't know what I can do in the afterlife. Shame, isn't it? Yes, well, I think on this occasion my lack of senses could be thought of as somewhat of a bonus.
Why can't you say where I've put you?
Oh, I ought to give up, I suppose. I mean, what does it matter? I'm dead. There's no way back. Oh, what am I saying? I can't let those murderers get away with it. But what can I do? I've tried Mum and Taddy and Dracula's daughter, Betty. But it's so vague. It's just suggestion.
Sorry you have to leave so soon, Vicar. Can you see yourself out? Yes, see you Sunday.
I'm going. I can't stand it here. I feel all peculiar.
Don't be stupid. If you go this early, people will suspect something. You were supposed to be her best friend.
Yes, you treacherous tart. Best friends don't murder each other.
I can't stay. Really, I can't. I know you want me to, but I can hear Viv accusing me.
That's just ridiculous. Viv is dead. You of all people should know that. We left her at the crematorium. She'll have gone up in smoke by now. What the bloody hell are we whispering for?
Yeah, I might be dead, but I'm not deaf.
I feel peculiar. I don't like feeling like this. I've never felt like this before. I feel like I could give us away.
How could you give us away? What could you say?
How about we murdered Viv?
We murdered Viv! Oh!
I say, you say, keep your voice down. You'll get us locked up. here. You're becoming hysterical. Just say to yourself, Viv is not here. That's all you've got to do.
But she is here, I tell you. I can feel her.
You'll burn in the fires of hell if I have my way.
We'll burn in the fires of hell for what we've done. I know we will.
Yes, you will. That's the point. I wonder where the fires of hell are.
There's no such place as hell. That's just what the church says to keep the masses under control. It doesn't work anymore, and we don't have to believe it.
You may be right, you cowardly toad, but I'll think of something like disembowel.
What on earth has got into you? You'll be telling me you can hear her next. Oh, for crying out loud. You must be joking. I don't believe it. Viv is not talking to you.
Well, I know that, but it's just that I feel her presence here, you know.
I don't know such thing.
I can vouch for that. He's got about as much sensitivity as a Wigan prop forward. I'm starting to enjoy this. Red hot pokers up your butt.
That's it. I really can't stand it here. If I stay here any longer, I shall go crazy.
Just another half an hour, darling, then I'll get rid of everybody and we can start making some plans. We'll burn that lot for a start.
Why? Is there some incriminating evidence in there?
Well, no, not really. Although I'm not too happy about the suicide note.
Why? You said only you and Viv knew about that note.
Well, that's true, darling, as far as I know.
Oh. Oh, thank you very much, William. Now you tell me. You assured me that with Viv dead, there was only one other person in the whole wide world that knew about that note, and that was you.
Well, what a birdie, that will be true, won't it? We'll have nothing to worry about.
You want to bet? I'm going to be hovering over your deathbed, waiting to slug you. That's the point. I wonder if a ghost could feel being slugged. I've got to find out more about this ethereal stuff.
Right. I shall stay for another half an hour and no more. And I mean it.
Waiting with red hot pincers.
Oh, this place is creepy.
If he burns that note, I've had it. Somehow we have got to get in touch with Gill. I need my mum and my sister. Mum! Taddy!
Viv, are you in here?
Yes, Mother, yes, yes.
If you are, speak to me, please.
Yes, I am speaking to you.
I'm sure you're here somewhere.
Yes, I am. I'm right in front of you.
Oh, I hope nobody hears me. They'll think I'm mad talking to myself.
Oh, you're not mad, Mum.
I know I'm not. I know what I know. Then again, perhaps I am mad. I'm sure I heard you speaking then.
Oh, well done, Mum, well done.
Speak to me again.
Yes, I am speaking to you.
No, she's gone again.
Oh, you're just not concentrating, silly old fool.
Don't you be so rude to your mother.
Concentrate
And don't swear at me. I've told you that before. I can hear you.
Good. Now keep thinking on this wavelength.
What? I can't hear you. You're fading away again.
Oh, this is going to be harder than I thought.
Are you still here, Viv?
Yes, Mother, I'm still here.
Oh, well, that's it. I can't hear her at all now. She's gone.
Oh,
Maybe she's gone for good.
Mother, I need your help.
What can I do to help? I'll do anything. Just ask me. I don't know much about the other world, but I know. Do you want to seance? Mrs. Richardson in Park Street. She's a medium. They say she's very good. She can contact the afterlife. Are you in the afterlife?
Mother, will you just listen?
Must be. She charges £10 an hour, you know, but I think it would be worth it, really.
Mother, can you just listen to me,
We could
please?
say an awful lot in an hour. There's so much I want to say to you that I never said and now I haven't got
Mother,
the
shut
time.
up and listen.
She's guaranteed to contact the spirit world every time, you know. Mrs. Evans, she said that not only could she hear her husband, she could smell him. I don't know if that's true. You know what she
Mother,
said.
shut up, shut up, shut up!
There's no need to get impatient. You've never had any patience with me. I'm doing my best, but you keep fading. Why do you keep fading? What can I do to help?
Mother, who are you talking to?
Oh, I'm talking to your sister, but as usual, she keeps losing her temper.
Oh, Mum, do you really think you're talking to Viv?
I don't think I am.
She keeps losing her temper.
Well, don't look at me like that. It's not my fault. She's always been the same. She takes after her grandmother Baker.
I see. I think you should do as Will says and go away for a good rest.
Now, don't you be on his side.
Oh, don't be so silly. She's your sister. She wouldn't be on his side.
What are you talking about, Mother?
Well, Viv says you're on his side.
Whose?
Will's. Don't be dense, Taddy.
I am not dense and I would support him against the devil.
Well, I never thought you would.
I'm on your side.
My side?
No, Viv's side. Oh, I think I heard her as well then.
Well, there you are then. I told you. We've got to help her, but I don't know how. Viv, you must concentrate.
It's not me that must concentrate, it's you.
Can you see her?
Of course not. Do you think I'm loony?
Just shut up, both of you, and listen to me.
I'm not sure I heard her then.
I did. She told us to shut up and listen. I told you she was getting impatient.
At last. Now, look in my address book. Address book.
Did you hear her?
I think so.
What did she say?
She wants a dress. Oh! She must be naked! Oh, she's walking around there in the nude! I wonder if she's cold. I don't see how we can get her one, do you?
I don't think she means a dress, Mum. I think you've got it wrong. Let's listen again.
Oh, well done, Taddy. Now, look in my address book. Address book.
Book. I heard her say book. I did.
No, she didn't. She's still on about a dress.
Oh, I could kill them both. I could really.
Did you hear that? I heard that. Yeah, she said she could kill us both. What a thing to say to your mother and sister. What would your father say?
Oh, well, of course they would hear that perfectly, wouldn't they? Look in my address book. Address book.
Oh, it's not a dress. It's a dress book.
Oh, well done, Taddy. Well done.
A dress book. Are you sure she doesn't want a dress?
This address book.
Well done, Tad. Well done.
Well, what do you want us to do with the book?
Ring Gill, ring Gill, ring Gill.
Did you get that?
Yeah, she said, ringle, ringle, ringle.
Well, that's what I thought she said. But what does ringle mean?
Oh, this is worse than charade.
Charades. I got that. No, there's no charades in here.
No,
Nothing
it
like
wouldn't be
it.
Charades is a foreign name. I think that's French. I don't think she knew any French.
Now, let me think. You see, the trouble is, Gill's surname is Petrokantovich. You see my problem. Gill in Bristol. Gill in Bristol.
Gill in Bristol. That's it. Gill in Bristol. What was Gill's surname?
Oh, now that was foreign as well. It ended with a bitch, and it began with P.
Here we are. Gill Petrokantovich.
Oh, that's it then. We've got it. Well, what do we do now? Ring Gill, ring Gill. She's at it again. Ringle. Ringle.
No, Mum. It's ring Gill, ring Gill.
Well, at last. Hooray! Well, ring her then.
All right. What do I say to her? I can't tell her that Viv's ghost asked me to give her a bell, can I?
No, she doesn't know that Viv's dead. Tell her what's happened.
Hello, is Gill there? Oh, 2 days. Okay, thank you very much. Bye-bye. Gill's gone away for a couple of days.
Oh, I don't believe this. This could kill me.
Thank you, Russ.
Now, I'm really fed up. I think those maggots are going to get away with it. Do you like the new frock? Yeah, well, alive, I always... Yeah, that's a funny phrase, isn't it? When I was alive. Not a lot of people get to say that. However, I digress. When I was alive, a new outfit always used to cheer me up. But it's not the same. After I zapped myself this one, I think it was all the shopping and the spending of the money that made it all so satisfying. That's Gill being away. I was counting on her. I don't know what to do now. My poor mum has had to go and make herself a cup of tea to calm herself down. My sister's gone to bully her husband. I'll calm her down. But what can I do? I'm stumped. Any ideas? No, shouldn't have asked. I could have a go at that bitch Betty. If I could get her in here on her own, I could frighten the crap out of her. Oh, sorry. Not that that would give me any pleasure at all, you understand. But I might get a confession. I can't prove I was murdered, you see, so I've got to go for a confession. It's worth a try, anyway. Taddy! Taddy! I don't know what sort of range I've got, you see. I mean, am I like a portable radio? I don't know. Taddy! Taddy! I shan't call Mum. She's getting so confused.
Viv? Viv, are you in here? I thought I heard you.
Yes, I'm here now. Just shut up and listen.
Right. I feel really potty. If anyone heard me, they would think I was really daft.
Just shut up and listen.
Okay.
Look at her, she looks retarded. Oh well, here goes. Get Betty in here.
Did you say Betty?
Yes, get Betty in here.
Get her in where?
In here.
Betty in here?
Yes, Betty in here.
You want me to get Betty in here? Why?
Oh, I can't go into all that now. Just get Betty in here.
Right.
Wait. Oh, she was never as obedient as that when I was alive. Lock her in.
What?
Lock her in.
That's what I thought you said.
Okay.
I suppose so. I hope you know what you're doing. There's a key.
I know that. It's my house.
Well, there's no need to be so irritable.
Oh, getting better at this all the time, aren't you? What should we do while we're waiting? Should we have another change of cosy? No, it could become a habit. I tell you what I did think. I haven't had anything to eat or drink since I passed over. But passed over? Isn't that a ridiculous expression? Passed over what? Anyway, I haven't felt a bit hungry. Mind you, I haven't been to, you know what either. Not that you wish to know that, but it's interesting, isn't it? Oh, come on, Taddy, I haven't got all day. Well, actually, I have. I've got all eternity.
Now, Will said you're to wait in here. It won't be long.
Why didn't he tell me himself? Taddy?
Betty! Betty Cole, I'm going to get you. Woo!
Oh, what was that?
Oh, that was good, wasn't it? Put the wind up, huh? I shall haunt you until the day you die. Woo!
Oh, it's locked! It's locked! Oh, help, help! Please don't hurt me!
I'd like to hurt you, you suburban assassin. I won't rest in my grave until you are punished for your sins. Woo!
Oh, it was Will! I never wanted anything to do with it. I'll do anything you ask.
Anything? This is easy. Confess! Confess! Woo! Do you think I need the woo-woos? It's a bit corny, isn't it? It seems to be doing the trick. I think the prancing about's pointless. Confess! Confess! Woo!
Oh, it was Will, I tell you. You were my friend, and I loved you. You know that.
Well, you could have fooled me. Confess! Confess!
I will. I'll go and see the priest tonight. I'll confess everything.
No, you silly mare. Confess to the police! To the police!
I couldn't. What will people say? No, I'll go and see the priest. That'll do, won't it?
No, it won't. No, it won't do. You must confess to the police. To the police.
Well, I don't see why. If I go and see the priest, he's not allowed to reveal anything that I say in the confessional, and then I shall be forgiven.
Not by me, mate. Confess! Scarface, you must be punished by the law.
Oh, I couldn't. What would people say? No. If I see the priest, he's not allowed to reveal anything that I say. He listens to me in confidence, so then I shall be forgiven and no one else need know.
That is the whole point, you dozy cow. I want you to go to prison. You must be punished by the law.
Woo! Oh, Viv, you couldn't be so cruel. I couldn't stand it in prison. I wouldn't be able to wear any of my nice frocks. And I'd have to live with people with studs and tattoos. And what about my cat? I couldn't leave him. Oh, no, surely you couldn't be so mean to me.
Mean to you? Mean to you? I think perhaps it was a bit mean at murdering me.
Well, I never did. Well, maybe just a bit.
You can't murder somebody a bit. I'm not a bit dead. Confess! Confess!
Oh, Viv, stop being so vindictive. You were never like this when you were alive. I thought being dead made you more ethereal and gentle. Surely you wouldn't haunt me if I had company.
I'll haunt you on the toilet. In your bedroom.
Oh.
At dinner parties.
Oh, please, Viv, I couldn't stand it. I couldn't stand to be haunted in company.
Confess! Confess!
Oh, please, Viv, have mercy.
What's going on? For goodness sake, what's wrong?
Well, it's terrible. She threatened to tell all my friends that I'm a murderess, and I couldn't stand that. I really couldn't. You tell her. You tell her it was all your idea. You tell her to forgive me.
How can I reason with Viv? We killed her.
Oh, no. I never murdered you, Viv. It was him. It was him.
For God's sake, keep your voice down. We're in this together, Betty, and if you just keep your cool, we'll be home and dry.
She said she'll haunt me until I die, and I couldn't stand that, Will. You never said this would happen. He never said this would happen. If he had, I would never have helped you. I would never have murdered you. Oh, I think maybe he had me under his spell. He hypnotised me, Viv.
Pull yourself together. You don't know what you're saying. Now just calm down. People will start to suspect something if you carry on in this absurd fashion.
But she's here, I tell you. You don't believe me, do you? You think I'm imagining it, don't you?
Of course not. Of course not. You're just overwrought. Why don't you have a stiff whiskey? Calm yourself down a bit.
Well, I'll prove it to you. Viv, you tell him what you just told me. Viv? Viv?
Listen, why don't you go home, have a nice little lie down, and I'll see you later when the funeral's over and we can talk more calmly.
She's here, I tell you. Viv, she's doing it on purpose, you know, to make me look a fool. Viv, speak this minute. Oh, why are you making me look so stupid?
Look, this has all been too much for you. I've got some tranquilizers you can take. They'll calm you down. I don't know what you've been hearing, but it's not Viv. Just think about it. It cannot be possible.
She's here, I tell you. We had a conversation.
Oh, you had a conversation, did you?
Yes, and she said she would haunt me forever.
Of course she did. You know, I didn't realise you had such a vivid imagination. It could be a great asset.
You patronising bastard. There, did you hear that?
Oh, yes, plain as day.
Oh, you did you? And what did she say? Come on, what did she say?
She said you should calm down and have a nice little rest. Ow.
Oh, the course of true love never did run smooth, did it, William? Look at him. Whatever did I see in him? I hate you, William. Do you hear me? I hate you, dog's breath! You see, he hasn't progressed since the primordial slime.
What's the matter, Viv? Are you all right? Oh, gosh, it's you, is it?
Why did you say, what's the matter, Viv?
I didn't.
Yes, you did. You said, what's the matter, Viv?
No, I didn't.
You've been hearing Viv's voice.
Of course not. Do you think I'm daft?
That's a completely different question. What I asked you was, have you been hearing Viv's voice?
Why? Has Betty been hearing
Get
her?
out of that!
Of course not. Don't be ridiculous. Betty is a sophisticated and intelligent woman who does not believe in ghouls and ghosts.
Well, she perhaps didn't, but she does now. It's her guilty conscience. That's what it is. Viv? Are you still here, Viv?
Yes, Mother, I'm still here.
Give me a sign. Anything. Give me a sign, Viv. Send me a sign. I need a sign. A sign.
I'd like to give her a sign.
at the moment? Is it difficult for you to maintain an earthly presence? Is it all too much for you? Just answer yes or no.
Yes, Mother, yes, yes, yes.
Are you being drawn back into the twilight zone?
Oh, I could do without it. I could really. I mean, I've not had a good day. Mind you, I suppose one's funeral day rarely is, but on top of that, I'm expected to communicate on a higher plane with my loony mother.
You've not had a good day. What about me? I've had buckets over you, and what thanks do I get? I'm called Loony.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mum. I didn't mean it.
Yes, you did. Oh, give me a cuddle.
I'm over here, Mother.
Have you gone again? Oh, this is so upsetting. She keeps being drawn back.
I haven't gone. You're just not concentrating.
No, she's gone. She's gone again. It's been very difficult. She keeps popping in and out like she does. I'll fetch Dad. Perhaps you'll speak to him.
Oh, I know I've said it before, but I ought to give up. I've got better things to do with my time. Mind you, I don't know what. Am I a soul in torment? Will I be compelled to haunt this room until my killers are brought to justice? Well, I don't feel very tormented. Perhaps if I concentrated, I could move things about, you know, like a poltergeist. You see, the trouble is, you get no help here. I mean, there should be a little brochure for beginners. Mind you, I am getting better at the old communications, or perhaps they are, but it's hard work.
What are you doing in here?
It's my house. I'll go where I want.
Mummy's taken the note.
You've got a guilty look. What have you been up to, eh?
He's got the note, Mum. Stop him.
You're not going anywhere.
Why not?
Well, I'm not sure, but you're not leaving.
Oh, now, Mum, don't be silly. I don't know what's got into you. I hope you haven't been drinking. No, you can't stop him going. Stay calm.
How dare you say I've been drinking? You know I only have a sherry at weddings and Christmas.
All I'm saying is you must calm down.
Don't you calm down, Mum. You hit him with your handbag.
She's gone mad. I knew she would. This is the final straw. I'm going to call the police.
It's in his pocket, Mum. In his pocket.
It's in your pocket.
How did you know?
What's in his pocket?
Well, I don't know, but there's something in there. Show us what's in your pocket.
What's
Go
in his
on.
pocket?
Mum, the note. Oh, I'm not getting through.
There's nothing in my pocket that will be of the least interest to you. There. You see? Nothing.
He is quite right, Mum. There's nothing there.
Oh, it's the note, you silly old fool.
Don't you be so rude to your father. It's the note, you silly old fool.
Give me that back at once, or else I'll be forced to take it from you.
Here, you lay a hand on her, and you'll be sorry. What note is it?
What, the suicide note?
Give it back to me at once, or you'll be
Here,
sorry.
now watch it, you, or I'll fetch you one. I've never liked you. I can't imagine why I'll ever marry a creep like you. I've wanted to say that ever since the day you were married, and now I've said it. You babble!
Tell him, rotten turd.
Oh, Vivian, watch your language in front of your father.
What? Oh, are you feeling all right, love? You know, I'm really quite worried about you. You are acting rather strangely, you know.
Strange, she's bloody loony if you ask me. Her and her whole family. Now why shouldn't I have that note in my pocket? After all, it was addressed to me. Now give it back to me at once. Or you will be sorry. I've had enough of this nonsense.
Oh, you better give it back to him, love.
No, this note is going in my handbag. He won't call the police. He's got too much to hide. Go on, I dare you. Call the police.
Oh, good old Mum, I could hug you.
Oh, could you? I'd like that too. Where are you, my baby? Come to your mother.
Oh, Mother, what are you doing? You really must stop behaving like this. It's becoming embarrassing.
I told you, she's balmy. Just take her on that holiday, like I said, before she ends up being locked away in a nut house. And your doctor will have her committed without a second thought.
But I can hear her.
Who?
You? Viv, she's been talking to me and Taddy all day.
Oh, now look, Mum, it's a sad thing, but Viv is dead. And we must face the facts no matter how much it hurts.
I know that, you silly old fool. But you ask Taddy and Betty. They've been talking to her.
Betty's been talking to Viv? It'd be ridiculous. You might imagine such things, but not Betty.
Well, yes, she did. And it put the wind up her. And I'm not surprised. She's got a guilty conscience the same as you. And there's something fishy about this note. What were you going to do with it, eh? Come on, tell me.
He was going to burn it, Mum, burn it.
What? Right, Dad, she wants us to burn it.
No, I don't think so, love. No, you better not burn it, as it's evidence.
No, Mother, don't burn it. Don't you worry, love. Whatever he does, I'll burn it for you.
You better not. I mean, we could get into trouble with the police.
Look, I'm not unreasonable. If she wants to burn it and it'll make her happy, then go right ahead. I don't mind.
No, Mother, don't.
Use these
don't,
matches.
Don't burn it, Mother. Don't.
Go on. What are you waiting for? Go on. Go on.
Oh, hang on a minute. I'm not sure about this. Why is he so bothered? There's something wrong here. Oh, Vivian, why won't you talk to me?
Why won't... Oh, give up. Oh, all right, then let them get away with it. I don't care.
Of course you do. What kind of silly talk is that?
Well, you won't let them burn it, will you?
Oh, no. But why did you ask me to? Oh, Vivian, you've got to stop fading in and out like this.
Suppose you're talking to Viv again.
Well, who do you think I'm talking to, myself? Silly old fool.
I'm afraid I have to agree with you, Will. You're right, she does need a holiday. I'm sorry about all the fuss, but Viv's death has hit her hard.
Well, can't you hear Viv?
What's she saying now?
Well, she's not saying anything now, as far as I know. It's been very difficult. She's here one minute and gone the next. It's very difficult.
But you say you've been hearing her voice, and so's Betty.
Yes, as clear as day. Every word she utters.
Oh, if only. I don't know what to do now, but at least Mum's got the note.
Oh, good, there's other people in here. Oh, I've just come in to collect my coat and then I must be off. You know what it's like. I really am very busy. Thank you so much for inviting me, but I really need to go.
Why, leaving the country?
No, I'm not leaving the country.
You're leaving the country?
Of course. No, who said that?
You did.
Did I? Why did I say that?
You're making a run for it, are you? Ha! They'll catch you. They'll set Dynapol on you.
Interpol.
Listen, Betty, she's got the note. You get it off while I hold this on, fool.
I don't think so, Will. I'm not the physical type at all. Oh, no, that violence has never run in my family. Oh, no, I'm not physical at all.
You were violent enough with me.
No, there was no violence. You just went to sleep.
So what are you going on about? You're as daft as that old bat. Just get the note.
Yeah, come on. Make my day, if you feel lucky. I'm not like Betty. I come from a long line of violent women.
Go on, Mum. Give her one. She murdered your baby girl.
That's slander, that is, you know. I could sue you.
Oh, you'll have a job, you silly cow.
That's nonsense. I'll soon get rid of it.
Yeah, give her that handbag immediately. You know, I think there's something fishy going on here.
Oh, well, it takes a while, but eventually it catches on.
Here, let's give that to me.
Here, take the bloody handbag.
Oh, Mum, don't let him destroy it.
Well, go on then, tear it up.
No, it's no good tearing it up. You can soon piece it together again. Get me a match.
Oh, don't be so silly, Will. What would I be doing with a match? I haven't had a cigarette for 5 years in June. Or is it 6?
Nobody is interested in when you stop smoking, you stupid bitch. And you're giving me indigestion. Now just get me some matches and stop rabbiting on,
You
woman.
give that to me. I think this matter should be looked at more closely.
Well, what does it matter if he does have it? I don't know what all the fuss is about. It's been seen by the police and the coroner, so what does it matter?
I don't know, I just feel that I should destroy it.
Well, why? That's what I want to know. I mean, there's nothing going on. Why do you want to burn it?
Yes, you must have a reason, you sly wimp. What is it?
It's because of Gill. Gill.
Gill who?
Gill in Bristol.
Gill in Bristol?
Gill? Oh, she rang this morning.
Gill rang this morning.
Oh.
I'm hearing things.
Oh, well, I got through to them all that time. I must be getting stronger.
Well, what did she say?
Who?
Gill, you silly old fool.
Do you know? I know it's not possible, but I could swear I heard Viv.
What did Gill say?
Oh, she said she'd heard about Viv and she was motoring down for the funeral. She'd be a bit late. She's out there now. I just got her a drink. Oh, she was very upset at the news.
Get Gill in here.
What shall we do, Viv?
Get Gill in here.
She's gone again.
No, she isn't. I can hear her. She says to keep Gill out.
Oh.
She says, send Gill away.
I'll get you for that.
Has the whole world gone mad? Am I the only sane person here? Listen to me, Viv is dead. Dead. Deceased. Passed on. No more. Popped her clog. She shuttled off this mortal coil. She's an ex-Viv.
Yes, we all know that, but I still say there's something not quite right here.
Get Gill in here.
What shall we do, Viv? I knew we should have gone to Mrs. Richardson in Park Street. We could have had a proper talk then. I used to speak to your grandma after she passed over. Mind you, she never made much sense, but then she never made much sense when she was alive. What are you all doing in here?
Taddy, get Gill in here.
Right.
I'm in pain. I'm going to have to sit down. The whole world's gone bloody mad.
I'd just like to say it had nothing to do with me at all. He forced me.
Forced? To do what?
For God's sake, keep your bloody mouth shut, you silly cow.
Don't you dare speak to me like that. If I knew you were going to treat me like that, I would never have joined in your stupid scheme.
What scheme?
Well, there was no scheme, you doddering old fool. She's going loony as well. It must be catching.
Yeah, you're going a very funny colour. He's going a very funny colour, Dad.
Doesn't look well at all, does he? I suppose we ought to send for the doctor.
He's not well. Well, I like that. Oh,
Here's
hello.
Jill. Hello, everyone. I'm so sorry to hear about our Viv. And I don't know why I rang you this morning. I just had premonitions. Something had happened. I never guessed it was as terrible as this. Has Viv been in contact with you? I beg your pardon?
Did Viv talk to you?
I don't understand. Viv's dead, isn't she?
Yes, she is. But she's been talking to us all afternoon.
I can hear every word she says.
Look, Jill. Everybody's been very upset at Viv's death, and the tragic way in which it happened, of course. Now, I think that, maybe quite understandably, a certain amount of mass hysteria has taken place here. Now, why don't we go back into the other room and have something to eat and drink and mix with the others and stop all this nonsense?
I thought you wanted to ask Jill something.
What?
Well, ask her what? What could she know? I don't know. You said to fetch Jill. I never did I? I don't know. Somebody did.
It was Viv. Viv wanted us to ask Jill something.
Show Gill the suicide note.
What? What do you want to know, Viv? Give us a sign. Give us a sign.
Show Gill the suicide
Give us a
note.
sign, Viv.
Show
Oh, she's gone again. Can you hear her?
No, I can't, Mum. I think she's really gone.
Oh, no, I can hear her again. No. She said it's definitely suicide.
Shut up, you dozy mare.
She speaks like that to me. Don't you be so rude.
Oh,
He looks terrible. You should see a doctor. Well, he won't need a doctor when they hang him.
Oh, now what a thing to say, Mum. They don't hang people anymore. They haven't hung people for years.
Well, more's the pity. I'd hang him. Just give me the rope. After what they did to our Viv.
What did they do to Viv, Mrs. Baker?
Well, they killed her and made it look like suicide.
You can ruin a person's reputation reputation saying things like that, you know.
Don't Jill the suicide! Oh, it's no good, I've lost it. I mean, it's no wonder we don't get too many messages from the other side. It's a very hit and miss affair. It's like Mum says, I just fade in and out.
Right, that's it. Come on, let's go and join the others and give Viv a proper send-off, which is, after all, why we're all here.
Mum, do you know what Viv wanted Jill for?
Well, no, it was something to do with her murder.
Honestly, Mrs. Baker, I don't see how that can be. I was in Bristol when Viv died, and the first I heard was this morning when I spoke to your husband.
Well, that's it then, isn't it? I really must be off, everyone. I'm ever so sorry. I'm really very busy.
Show
I'll talk to you
Jill
later.
the suicide note!
I'll see you later. Can I help you with your coats, Mum, Dad?
Don't call me Mum. I've told you that before. If I was your mother, I'd have strangled you at birth.
How charming. Is this yours? Wrap up well, it's chilly out. I'd hate for you to catch pneumonia.
I've failed. They're going to get away with it, the smug gits. Show Jill the note! Oh, it's no good. No, don't go, please, don't go.
Hang on a minute. I've been thinking.
Oh, I really am very sorry, Mr. Baker, but I really need to go. I'm already late for an important appointment.
I said wait, and I mean it.
Look, I should be getting back to the others. I am their host.
Oh, I've been thinking about this, and I think I know why Jill's here.
Go on, Pops, you tell them.
All right, Sherlock, what the hell could Jill know about the suicide note?
Exactly. She was in Bristol. Go on, show her the note. I'm sure we don't know what all the fuss is about, do we, Will?
No, I don't. When could she have even seen that note? There you go, Mother.
Yeah.
Show her the suicide note if you want to.
Oh, if it's personal, I'd rather not.
Oh, I don't believe it.
Look, it is personal and private from a loving wife to her husband. But I don't mind you seeing it, Jill. After all, you were close. But remember, these are the final words of a troubled and desperate woman.
At last, this'll wipe the smug looks from their faces.
Well, there you go. Have you ever seen that suicide note before?
No, I've never seen this suicide note before.
What?
Ha! What did I tell you? Now, can we please get back to our duties as grieving relatives?
And you have said some very hurtful things to me lately, and I'll never forget them.
I said I've never seen this suicide note before, because this isn't a suicide note.
Good old Jill, I knew she'd remember.
Yes, it is. It was found beside her. What else can it be?
No, Viv wrote this some years ago when you were having an affair. She wanted to end the marriage, not her life. I know, because I helped her write it.
I'd just like to say yet again, it had nothing to do with me. I was an innocent Jew. He's a monster. He threatened my life if I told on him. I think you should call the police. Call the police, I will tell them everything. He should be locked up.
I don't believe this. I'll tell you this much, madam. If I'm going down, you're going with me. This was as much your idea as it was mine. In fact, you were keener than I was. You couldn't wait to get Viv out of the way.
They'll hang you both, and
Good riddance.
Oh, oh. If I'm going down for one murder, it might as well be two, you old bag. It wasn't easy killing Viv, but I'm going to enjoy topping you.
Suppose somebody ought to give him the kiss of life.
Not me. He's your henchman. You do it.
Certainly not. It's most unhygienic.
He's gone.
Good. Save the hangman.
Oh, Mum, I've told you, they don't hang people anymore.
Well, save them locking him up for years and years then.
What's going on? That's me down there. Ah! What are you doing here? You're dead.
got news for you, Sunshine, so are you.
What?
You're dead. Dead as a stuffed parrot.
Betty? Betty, speak to me, Betty. Why would you speak to me?
They can't hear you. They can sometimes hear me.
I'll repent. I don't want to go to hell. I've always tried to be good. Well, I can help it.
No, unfortunately. I haven't seen any St. Peter or the pearly gates, so I doubt whether there's any fiery furnace or little devils with pitchforks either, more pity.
Really? So I got away with it after all, did I?
Well, in a way, but you're still dead, aren't you?
Nothing for you to be superior about, so are you.
That's not fair.
I shall open that bloody old mother of yours till I drive her mad. Mind you, not far to go, unfortunately. This is quite good, this. Being dead, this could be fun.
He was an evil man, you know. He told me what he did to Viv after he'd done it, of course. I threatened to tell on him, but he threatened me with my life.
I shall haunt her as well. What the hell did I see in that dozy cow? I shall make her pay. Oh, I'm going to have some fun. Right then. Cheerio then, Viv. See you around sometime. Or perhaps not, as the case may be.
Stop right there.
What's going on? I can't move. What have you done? Let me go.
This is very interesting, isn't it? Sit. Stand. Smack your face.
Fuck it up, Viv, that hurt.
Oh, I know it did. I could get you to punch yourself anywhere I like.
You wouldn't.
You want to bet?
Well, this is not fair.
Oh, yes, it is. It's called retribution.
How does it go on for?
Eternity, I think.
Oh, please, Viv. I've always loved you, you know that. But
Shut up! I'll tell you when you can speak.
Anyway, I think I better be off.
The police will be here soon. There's no place to hide.
I think Will's dead.
Good. Best thing for him, the swine.
Don't speak ill of the dead, love. He's had his punishment.
Well, not enough in my opinion. And I hope that when he gets where he's going, the devil gives him jip.
Well, I don't know about the devil, but I certainly will. I wonder if they'll hear me one last time. Can you hear me?
Yes, love, we can hear you.
I think I've got to go now.
Must you?
Yes, I think so.
We'll miss you.
Will you be all right?
I'll be fine.
Will you talk to us again?
No, no more. Goodbye. Goodbye, everybody. Well now, time to explore the afterlife with my new slave. But where shall I go? What shall I do? I haven't seen another soul since I got here. He's the only other deceased person I've seen, unfortunately. But they must all be here somewhere. Napoleon, Marilyn Monroe, Clark Gable, Buddy Holly. It's funny, you see, with all the people in the world to exist in, I can talk to anybody who's dead, but I couldn't make my mum hear. I could hear old Blue Eyes sing again, or watch Nijinsky dance, or I could talk to Sandra Beaker. She was my best friend when I was 17. She was killed on the back of her boyfriend's motorbike. No crash helmets in those days. And then there's Clark Gable, Laurel and Hardy, Cleopatra.
Viv? Viv, is that you, Viv? I've come to show you the way. Come on, Viv.
John Lennon! It's John Lennon! I've got to go! Here, Yoko Ono isn't dead, is she? It looks like one story's ended and another one's about to begin. Come on, you. I'm off to find my heaven. You know where your hell is, don't you? Oh, just one last thing before I go. If one day you're on your own and you hear a voice and it fades in and out, listen to it. Listen very carefully. Come in, John. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been a smashing audience, haven't they? Brilliant, brilliant. We really enjoyed it tonight. This is the advert now, so listen. Our next production will be at Peterborough High School last week of November, and it's a pantomime, What We Writ, called Rats, and it's loosely based on the Pied Piper of Hamelin, but it's a traditional family pantomime. So hope to see you all there with your children and your grandchildren. In the meantime, thank you very much again for coming. Drive home safely, and we'll see you all again soon.